Welcome to Factly, the place of interesting and unusual facts. The top 10 fascinating facts about giraffes. Giraffes are the world's largest mammals, thanks to their towering legs and long necks. A giraffe's legs alone are taller than many humans, which is about 6 feet. These long legs allow giraffes to run as fast as 35 miles an hour over short distances and cruise comfortably at 10 miles an hour for over longer distances. Now let's jump right into the top 10. Number 1. A giraffe's tongue is 20 inches long. Africa's Senegalia and Vachelia species have developed fierce defensive thorns, requiring giraffes to use their dexterous tongues to sort out the nutritious leaves from those spiky thorns. Fortunately, a giraffe's tongue has thickened papillae, which helps protect it from those vicious thorns. Additionally, thick saliva is also believed to help protect a giraffe's tongue and mouth against those defensive mechanisms of their favorite food. The color of their tongue is best described as black, blue, or purple with a pink base. It is generally assumed that the front part of the tongue has such dark coloration to protect it during the frequent sun exposure while eating and to prevent the tongue from getting sunburned. However, no one really knows. Number 2. A giraffe's spots are like human fingerprints. The giraffe's spots serve as camouflage, which is the primary function of those patches. Underneath each patch is a network of tiny blood vessels that are connected to larger blood vessel tissue that runs around the perimeter of each patch. A giraffe is able to dissipate body heat via this circulatory system by pumping blood through the network of small branches and into the core of the patch. Each patch functions as a thermal window, allowing excess heat from the body to escape. The patch pattern that each of them possess is the exact match for the pattern of heat radiation that occurs naturally in a giraffe's body. Number 3. They can grow to over 19 feet tall. Giraffes make effective use of their height to feed on leaves and buds in treetops that are out of the reach of most other animals. The majority of the time, giraffes consume and, like cows, regurgitate their food and chew it like cud. Every week, a giraffe consumes hundreds of pounds of leaves and must travel great distances to acquire the nourishment. Because of their height, giraffes can keep a sharp eye out for predators throughout the vast African grassland. Because of their large size, giraffes find it challenging and hazardous to drink at watering holes. They must stretch their legs all the way down and stoop in order to do this, which puts them in danger of being eaten by big cats in Africa and other predators. Giraffes only need to drink occasionally. The majority of their water comes from the lush plants they consume. Giraffe mothers give birth while standing, and at birth, their newborns experience a fairly abrasive greeting to the world by plummeting more than 5 feet to the ground. Amazingly, these newborns can run alongside their mother just 10 hours after birth, and they can stand in 30 minutes. Number 4. Giraffes are not territorial. The giraffe is not a creature that marks its territory. They live in herds that are not tightly organized, and there's no clear leader among them. Giraffes engage in relatively casual forms of social interaction with one another, and the composition of the giraffe herds is dynamic in nature. Because they have to spend a significant portion of their day searching for food, they are more autonomous than the majority of the animals that live in herds. When they have calf groupings, females tend to socialize with other females. The calves will interact and play with one another as they migrate and gather together. The advantage of mother calf groups is that the young are effectively protected from predators. Males will remain with their maternal herd until they are about 3 years old, at which point they may switch to a herd of bachelors. Although males rarely succeed in reproducing until the age of 8 or beyond, sexual maturity usually develops around the age of 3 or 4. Number 5. There are 4 distinct species of giraffe. The most common giraffe in the world is the reticulated giraffe. It is the most prevalent in zoos, and it hails from the Horn of Africa, which is a peninsula. The reticulated giraffe is large, polygonal, liver-colored patches that are surrounded by a group of bright white lines. There's deep reddish-orange patches might also cover their legs that they can emerge frequently. The largest subspecies of giraffes is the Maasai. The Maasai giraffe is the largest member, and it may be found in Kenya, Tanzania, and can be identified by the unusual, jagged, crooked star-shaped spots to cover its hooves. Herr von Tippelskirch is remembered in the name of the Maasai giraffe. He is an East African member of the German research expedition. The Angolan giraffe subspecies features large brown patches with margins that are relatively notched or have angular extensions. It's found in northern Namibia, southwestern Zambia, Botswana, and western Zimbabwe. The Cape giraffe is another name for the South African giraffe. It is a subspecies that is indigenous to South Africa, Mozambique, Namibia, Botswana, and Zimbabwe. All the way down to their hooves, South African giraffes have spots with star-like extensions on a tan background. In the wild, there are 31,500 South African giraffes. Number 6. Necking is the most violent experience for giraffes. Giraffes are known to settle disputes by striking one another with their heads and their necks. This term is called necking. Giraffe bulls will beat each other with their massive skulls by whipping their necks around like clubs. The longer and thicker of the giraffe, the greater the likelihood that it will prevail in a fight. Giraffes that have been victorious in battle have a greater chance of successfully reproducing and having progeny. Number 7. The common myth of giraffes is that they are silent. Giraffes are actually able to hiss, snort, utter whistle-like screams, and create low-frequency noises that are inaudible to the human ear, despite the widespread misconception that giraffes are silent animals. This is all to say that giraffes are actually equipped with major vocal cords. The majority of these noises are typically made by juvenile giraffes since they are less careful than the adults. This is certainly one of the more interesting giraffe facts. Number 8. Giraffes consume over 35 kilos of food per day. Because adult giraffes can only consume a small amount of food with each bite, they spend most of their time feeding in order to satisfy that calorie requirement. Giraffes in the wild require an enormous amount of food not only due to their size, but also because they spend most of their time in that upright position. Breast milk is the only food that infant giraffes or calves can consume in the first 4 to 6 months of their lives. The young calves start nibbling on leaves around the 7th month. If a young calf is unable to reach the leaves on the trees, moms will strip the leaves from branches and just feed them to him. Isn't that awesome? Number 9. Giraffes are the 3rd heaviest animal in the world. A baby giraffe can weigh up to 150 pounds. Giraffes weigh about 1,765 pounds on average. Giraffes are the 3rd heaviest mammal in the world, behind the elephant and the rhinoceros, and certain species can weigh as much as 4,000 pounds. In relation to the giraffe weight, the heart of a giraffe can reach 25 pounds, making it the largest heart of any land animal, whereas the human heart only weighs about 300 grams. And every minute, the heart of a giraffe pumps 60 liters of blood throughout their body. Number 10. The giraffe's individual numbers continue to plummet. In the savannas of Africa 30 years ago, there were approximately 150,000 giraffes roaming free. However, as of present day, the number of wild giraffes that are still free to wander their natural habitats has decreased by almost 50%. Giraffe numbers are falling due to the number of factors, including illicit wildlife trade, human encroachment into wildlife habitats, conflict between humans and other animals, and the mass consumption of eating their meat. This concludes today's fascinating facts about giraffes. If you're enjoying your time here, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video.